Hi, I'm Jennifer, and this is my husband, Jim. Today's session is based on Chapter 3 of Happy Together. It is called, What Keeps You Together?
Dr. William Doherty writes in Take Back Your Marriage that getting married is like launching a trip on a river with a canoe. If we don't paddle, the canoe drifts and is pulled by the currents. We end up in places we didn't intend to go. He writes that it's natural for all couples to let their relationship slide into automatic pilot and to slowly drift apart.
Have you caught yourself drifting from time to time? How did you know you were drifting?
We realized we were drifting when we weren't communicating, telling each other what we needed.
We just start getting on each other's nerves.
What couple doesn't at one point or another?
And start getting very short with each other.
Oh my gosh, she's working 7 days a week.
Just about every weekend, cooped up in our studying. And at that point is when we started drifting apart.
Louis was spending a lot of hours at the church, and where I wasn't seeing him on the weekends, and the kids were playing ball, and he was doing his own thing, and
we disconnected. When I get so preoccupied with work and just, it can consume you if you let it.
It's very easy to commit yourself to other things and then forget about your marriage.
You just kind of lose track on getting enough good quality time with each other.
You're living in the same house, but you really don't spend any time together. Sometimes you don't even meet together. Your schedules don't go right. You just sleep together. You go to sleep and that's it. And you wake up.
The fact is, if you do find yourself drifting apart, it's going to be the typical things: the kids, job, travel, all the things that go along with living at the speed of life.
Sometimes couples drift to the point of wondering, what am I doing here? Why do I stay? In her song from the soundtrack of the movie Hope Floats, Dina Carter asks, what makes you stay? When your world falls apart and you are at the end of your rope, what makes you try one more time? What makes you stay?
The author of Happy Together writes that while the wedding promises keep most couples together, it's the spouse's appreciation of each other's good qualities that makes their happiness last and grow. What makes you stay? Is it more than the promise?
I think it's the commitment, but yet I think it's more than that.
The great times are what keep you together. The tough times are what make you wonder, why am I here? But it's the great times that keep you together.
We're committed, we're here to stay, but in addition to that, and perhaps more important than that, is that we care a great deal about each other.
It's those special moments between just the two of you, those special moments when I still see that little boy grin that first attracted me in the beginning.
We do like each other.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing.
I enjoy being with her.
other than commitment and love, he's my best friend. His sense of humor, he's a good listener. He always gets me through any emotional things that I've gone through in the past.
I wouldn't know what I would do without her in my life.
Jarrett makes me a better person on a daily basis.
You know, when you have a good friend, you just want to be with that friend. You want to do things with that friend. You want to go places with that friend.
He's my best friend. I really do enjoy doing just about anything and everything with him.
Along with the commitment that we made to each other and our son.
Yeah, the commitment to our children. And I think Marie is a factor, our daughter.
Yeah, I agree with her. And over the years, we've just become one. You know, one soul, one body.
I cannot imagine myself living a life without Kim. Just like Forrest Gump says, two peas in a pod. That's what we are, and that's what we plan on being.
The author of Happy Together writes that what attracts spouses to each other and keeps them together is the beauty and goodness that each finds in the other. Such beauty and goodness are God's fingerprints on His creation. They are God's gift to you, and when you share these gifts with each other, you taste God's own goodness. That's happiness.
The Catechism reminds us of this fact when it states that in the joys of our love and family life, God gives us a foretaste of heaven. The gift that spouses possess are a couple's treasure that must be guarded and cared for.
What are the gifts you share with each other? What is your treasure?
Where do I start? Yeah, where do I begin?
Bob has a way of bringing out the best in me.
I always thought that Sandy was the greatest gift God ever gave me.
You know, when he created her, he had me in mind.
She was a singer and I was an audio engineer, and we did a project together, and so we shared the gift of music.
What gifts does she have? I could go on and fill this whole tape, but
Go.
we need to. Oh,
Gina's most precious gift to me is obviously her personality, her upbeat spirit.
but she is my embodiment of what God intended for me in terms of having a wife.
Her smile, her eyes, because I'm always looking at her and saying, "You're beautiful."
He always puts myself and the kids first than anything else. He's not selfish.
We've been married 37 years, and he's always told me I'm beautiful and gorgeous, and makes me feel good about myself.
Her other gift is her gift of encouragement and support for me.
My wife is probably the most Christian person that I know. She has more empathy for people than anyone I've ever met in my entire life.
The gift of the familiar is a part of what holds us together and a part of what makes us what we are. Is we know that through the good times and the bad times, we're going to get aggravated with each other. But when it's time to really pull together, we're there with and for each other. And that gift of each other is what's most rock solid.
It's wonderful to remember and to celebrate the gifts we share, yet it's so easy to lose sight of them. In our busy life, we're often distracted by the demands we face each day. The demands of children, of work schedules, work responsibilities, the expectations of friends and family, and other social commitments.
These demands are like the currents of a river that pull our canoe downstream. Instead of paddling against the currents, we let our canoe drift. Gradually, we settle into routines that cause us to lose sight of each other's gifts, and we grow apart.
Successful couples make it a priority to be with each other. They consciously paddle against the currents. They create a space in their daily routines for themselves alone. They develop rituals that help them stay in touch with each other. They make time to step away from all the distractions to enjoy each other's company.
What do you enjoy doing together? What do you do to stay in touch with each other during the day?
Well, we don't cook together. But we do clean the house together.
Yeah. Really enjoy being outside a lot, especially hiking.
We love football. We both love football. We love high school football, college football, which is unusual maybe.
Shopping, going walking the mall, cooking dinner together. That is such a joke.
That's a lot.
Eating. We love to eat.
We just like to just cuddle up on the couch and watch a good movie. I mean, you know, that's quality time to me. I enjoy that.
I hate to say it, but watching Lifetime Network together.
When the kids left, we thought we need to find something to do together. So we took ballroom dancing lessons. We're terrible, but we have we're terrible, but we have a blast and it's funny. We laugh together.
We love the beach and going to the beach.
Really like to travel and to take trips.
I love going on trips together.
Love to entertain, and we get great joy out of that. We entertain our family and friends.
Doing things with other couples, people that have, the same likes that we do.
A lot of times during lunch we'll go and have lunch together somewhere.
Leaving notes for each other.
I do travel a lot, so we try to call each other a couple times during the day.
Sometimes we meet for lunch during the week.
Call her a few times during the day, and just to say hi and I love you.
Sometimes put little notes in my suitcase and things like, nice body or miss you and things. So when I unpack on a trip, I know that she was thinking about me.
Making time to stay in touch with each other and to enjoy each other's company is very important to your relationship. It helps build the bond that keeps you together. It keeps your treasure shining, and it makes your marriage an effective sign of Christ's presence in the world, as the Catechism explains.
Today, promise each other that you'll keep on paddling and you'll make each other the top priority in your life in spite of all the demands and expectations others place on you.
Now we invite you and your spouse to take time to cherish the treasure that you possess as a couple. Use the handout for this session as a guide for your conversation.